I'm going to show you how to use different types of brushes for face painting. First, my mom will tell you what you need.
Okay, so we are going to start with what I probably use most frequently, which is a round brush. There are several different brands. My favorite is King's Art. It was formerly Low Cornell.
And they're actually really cheap, so I buy them.
Yeah, they come in different sizes.
All sorts.
All the way to 0 up to, I think, a 10. I don't go much higher than a 5. This is what the 0 looks like.
Oh yeah, and you can find the picture of my face paint on Facebook.
Yes. So when you load your round brush, you should be rolling it in your paint to a tip, okay? So black tends to have an inky consistency, but you can see there I have a point on the end there. And then when you're doing the paint on the arm, a lot of what you'll use for the round brush is different pressures, right? So if we're doing a tiger stripe, we might start thin pressure, thick pressure, and then back to thin to finish out our tiger line.
But make sure it is okay, because as you can see, it's kind of running out.
Yes. You can also, you'll also use a lot of times your round brushes for different swirls or teardrops. Again, it's going to be all about that different pressure of thin and then going into a thick and then back up to thin. Okay?
Mom, can I show them a strategy I learned?
Not right this second. Okay? So that is going to be
pretty.
your round brushes. Another one that we use frequently is a filbert brush. My favorites for the filbert brush are Silly Farms. Okay? What I use this most frequently for is to simulate water or waves, or also to fill in large amount of space if there's a large amount that needs covered with the face paint. Okay, so just to show you a quick example of how I might use that to emulate.
I'm going to paint my mom's nails tonight.
Emulate waves, like on my shark, for example. I've double loaded my brush with white and then blue at the top. And you can see here.
It makes a really pretty color.
It gives a nice rounded approach there.
And it looks really pretty.
It looks like waves. Okay?
If you can't see it, that's what it looks
Another
like.
brush that we commonly use is a petal brush. Again,
and that's probably the most pretty.
Yeah, again, my favorite brand of these petal brushes are the Silly Farms. I use these for flowers, and I also use them for skeleton teeth.
Oh yeah, and I think it looks really pretty if you like double loaded and did a petal, because if you go on my mom's Facebook page and look for the flower, you would see the petal brush, and it looks amazing.
Yes. So just to show you a brief example of how that will look, I've gone ahead and loaded my petal brush up with a purple and then a black tip here. So just to show you how easy that is to put a
Make sure you don't get it too inky.
Yeah.
That's the number one rule of painting.
Flower there.
That's the number one rule of painting.
Yes.
Otherwise, when you're doing it, it's going to drip and it's going to look like you, no matter what you face paint, it's going to look like a zombie.
Yeah. The next brush that we use all the time is going to be...
Yeah, we just used that one and for this face paint.
Yep, exactly. So this one is a flat 3/4 inch. Most one strokes are 1 inch. I find the 3/4 does pick up all of my color, so I stick with the 3/4 inch. I like that it's not as bulky as the 1 inch.
Doing?
I'm just forming it. Again, my favorite brand, my go-to, is the Silly Farm for this one. And just to show you what that's going to look like, we're just going to load up the one that we used on her butterfly today.
Hi.
Okay. And then you'll see here, you should just pick up all of those colors, and they look really smooth and good.
Yeah, like here, look at my face. All from 1 or 2 brushes. 1 or 2.
Yeah. Another style of brush that comes in varying sizes are going to be an angled flat brush, okay? We have some bolt flat angled, which I think this is the 3/4.
And it's like shorter.
Yep.
If you need to do like some detail.
I like the Silly Farms. These are the Romantic Rose. I use this a lot to add like outlining contrast to some of my designs. So for example,
or you could use that one for tiger stripes because it also works in
you
Bessie.
could, yeah. So for example,
if you want thicker ones.
Okay, for example, when I do my zombies, I like to outline them. I'll outline them in black, but just to give a little bit of additional dimension. The inside of the zombie's face is a light green. So then I will just go around with this color here. Okay, and it's just gonna give a little bit more dimension to that design, and it'll blend in really good with the light green base that I have already done. I feel like the last brush that we're going to cover today is a liner brush. I don't use liner brushes a ton on the job.
You use them sometimes.
Sometimes. We use them more at home when I'm doing detail work. This is a Royal Langnickel liner brush, okay? The plus side of a liner brush is you're going to get a lot more precision. Just in regards to those small details, you'll be able to do your small details, but it has a catch-22 because you have to load it frequently because it doesn't hold as much paint. And you usually have to have your paint be a little bit more wet on the liner brush to get you to that fine point that we talked about.
And you don't want to ruin your paint.
Yeah, but once you get the hang of it, it does create really beautiful, just delicate lines.
Like that kind of reminds me of an eyeball.
Yeah.
Like a Japanese eye.
Yep.
Like from a doll.
And then really quick, the other last thing that we will cover is just the different sponges we will use. We've talked about loading consistency in other videos, so just to show you which ones we use most frequently. So for stencil work,
you use the finger.
Use the finger daubers. Yep.
Here, can I show them?
Yep, I just showed them. Okay.
Like,
for star blends, we use the smoothie blenders. They come like this, or we've also gotten them in this size as well.
And that's probably the one that works most, the flatter one.
Yeah. And
sorry,
then,
my throat's getting congested.
What we'll use for larger sponges, petal sponges are a lifesaver. We use them for like cat ears
and flowers,
butterflies. So these come in handy. And
but
then we also get the round sponges, and then we cut them in half. These are going to be really good to just get you some full coverage. So when we do our rainbow tigers,
or you can do a rainbow butterfly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And those work too.
Yep, that's right. So that is a little quick tutorial on the different brushes that we use and what we use them for.
And they're really pretty.
Yep. Do you want to tell them thank you?
Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out Facebook for the picture of my face paint. It looks killer.